Hi, everybody. Erica here with Harmony Healing Arts in residence at my Pilates studio, Dayton. I've had a lot of questions or conversations from clients the past couple weeks about pain and discomfort and what in yoga we often call finding your edge. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of my 2 cents worth as a fitness professional about all of that. Now, I'm not a doctor, I don't prescribe. I want to make that very clear. But when we are exercising, whether it be yoga, weightlifting, Pilates, gyrotonic, HIIT classes, whatever the case may be, we want to work the edge where we feel mild tension, maybe some discomfort, but never pain. Now, obviously, if you have an injury, there's going to be pain regardless. Until I had my hip replacements, there was just pain sitting, standing, walking, doing nothing. Now that I'm healing from my hip replacements, there is still pain, but I'm retooling every day what is functional movement and discomfort, and then what then puts me past that breaking point into pain. So a couple tidbits to keep in mind. When we stretch, we want to feel the stretch in the meat of the muscle, if you will, in the deeper innermost part of the muscle. We shouldn't really feel a stretch in the joints. You may feel some in the ligaments. When we do things like yin yoga, we're holding passive, that's the key phrase with yin yoga, poses for several minutes to allow the connective tissue to release slowly. Muscle fibers can stretch and move like a rubber band back and forth. Ligaments do not like that. That's how we have injuries. So with ligaments, when we're working on lengthening through those myofascial bands, if you will, that's the reason why in yin yoga, it's imperative that you have all the props there so that you don't get overstretched too quickly, too deeply, and that you have the support of the props so that the joint is stabilized, supported, while the ligaments and the muscles stretch around that. But when you're doing regular exercise that isn't in the yin atmosphere, if you will, I want you to really notice, am I feeling this in my joints? If you are, then that means that maybe you're doing too much weight. Maybe it's a range of motion outside of where you need to be right now. Also, if you feel a slight burning or tingling sensation, typically, unless you have an injury or something else going on in your body, that's a sign that you're working your edge. But when we start to get sharp, stabbing, shooting pain, shooting nerve pain, a lot of numbness and tingling. A little bit of numbness and tingling might happen when we first start stretching or warming up in class, especially when you're kind of over the age of 30. But anything really beyond that, again, less is more. Less range of motion, less intensity, less weights. One more thought about that is people tend to be on two sides of the spectrum. You might be, I call myself a mesomorph, short and stocky. It's really easy for me to build muscle, but then my muscles get very tight. And then for my hypermobile guys and gals, I call you my Gumby people. I have to be really careful with you in class or in one-on-one sessions, because what typically happens for people that are hypermobile, sometimes they're what we call disassociated from their body. They're just moving their body kind of mindlessly, and they overstretch and put the weight that they're working with, whether it's your body weight, your hand weights, weights on a machine at a fitness club, into the joint. And then they don't feel it at the time because they're bendy people. But a day, 2, 3, or 4 days later, they have something called delayed onset muscle soreness. And they're like, oh my God, why is my body killing me? What did I do? And they don't even often remember that it might reflect back to the exercise that they did a few days prior. So if you're somebody that is hypermobile, then your goal is to really feel the muscular contraction happening, and you don't want to feel the work in your joints. If you're someone that is really naturally strong, or what we call a mesomorph or short and stocky, then even though it's very easy for us to get the pump, if you will, of lifting more weights and doing more things, and it just gets easy, we have to find a balance of flexible muscles so that we're working with enough resistance to keep the muscle we have, maybe build muscle that we're wanting, but find that stretch in there. So it doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. At the end of the day, balance is key. So hope that helps you in your fitness journey. And I'd love for you to tag me at the bottom of this post with what are your fitness goals and what things have been working for you. How do you find your edge? And of course, your edge can be physically in your body, mentally in your mind, with what are healthy, positive interactions, what are toxic interactions. We have to show up and work jobs where maybe we're around people that aren't always super friendly. But how do you find your edge in those scenarios? And mentally and emotionally too, with how we approach life, how we approach child rearing, how we approach our families and family get-togethers. So find the balance is key. And I hope you have a great workout, and I hope you find a good flexible stretch in your body, mind, and spirit. Peace out.